go away, please go away, go away.
We are talking the movie Stephanie. This one's directed by Akiva Goldsman and stars Frank Grillo, who you may know from the more recent two Purge movies, and Anna Torv, who you probably know from Fringe, among other things. So the story here focuses mainly on this young girl as she appears to have been abandoned at her family home, and there seems to be some kind of supernatural shenanigans going on, and we don't know quite what it is. We don't know the reasons why she seems to have been abandoned. Apparently she has a corpse of her older brother upstairs, and there seems to be something going on. And then we get our kind of parents turn up, played by Grillo and Torv, and obviously then we kind of get a little bit more going on about maybe why that she was abandoned and what's actually going on, and ultimately all will be revealed. So let's talk Stephanie. This is actually a fairly competently made horror movie that actually does have some pretty decent effects, really good acting, especially from the young girl here who plays Stephanie herself. I think actually comes across as quite a kind of genuine little girl who, you know, who acts like like little girls do, and kind of is actually a fairly good actor. Frank Grillo is always a pleasure to watch, and Anna Torv does a decent enough job here as well. The film has a crisp kind of professionally made look. And when we kind of get the reveals about what's going on, and we see our kind of more effect-driven kind of movies, I've got to say they're quite effective and quite kind of gruesome at the same time. But why does it sound like the shoe is about to drop? Well, this movie makes a bold choice, and it's a choice in my opinion does not work. And that is the first half an hour of this movie. The first half an hour of this movie is like watching someone else's holiday videos. It is really boring. The first half an hour of this movie is literally this little girl on her own in her house, kind of like just going around eating kind of crap out the cupboard, stuff like that. You get a few kind of maybe spooky things happening, but it's just this little girl on her own talking to her teddy bear for half an hour. It is like, you know, watching someone else's kid for half an hour, and it is really boring. It's unfortunately this decision, obviously to kind of to give you an idea about, you know, the obviously how this kid is abandoned. There seems to be something going on. It could have been done in maybe 10 minutes. It didn't need to be half an hour, and it is unfortunately it really drags. I mean, even the rest of the movie isn't a particularly fast-paced film. But when you have this very, very kind of slow start, it unfortunately, your interest level when it does pick up is greatly diminished, unfortunately. So it's a real shame, because I feel this movie does have a lot to offer, but obviously the decision to kind of to have that kind of introduction, which is a third of the film ultimately, is really kind of makes it a real slog to sit through, and you're just not as interested when the parents actually do turn up and we kind of get the reveals and stuff about what's going on. So I mean, there's slow pace, and then there's just a weirdly paced. So if you can maybe get through that, you'll be rewarded with more of an interesting kind of you know, second and third acts basically. But even they are a little slow paced. But it's a glacially paced movie ultimately in some of its parts. There are some good things to be had here, but I feel it's a shame that this decision was made and kind of really spoils the movie overall. But there are some good stuff in it once you do get past that kind of at that initial third of the movie. So has anyone else seen it? What do you think about this film, and do you agree or disagree with my summary of the first third of this movie? Leave me a comment, and I shall look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.